Hello everyone, Sidanet here with another update from the Avalanche ecosystem. Today we are actually not going to look at a new addition like we normally do. I actually want to take a moment to talk about Yield Yak. They've been around basically almost since the start, but as you may remember if you've been watching this channel for a long time, they were originally branded Snowballs Finance. But with so many new users joining Avalanche each day, they may not know that. They may have difficulty finding some resources on Yield Yak. So the Yield Yak team reached out to me to ask if I could do another video on the updated branding, but also of course all the other features. I'm definitely happy to do that. So let's get into it and I'll show you how I use Yield Yak, because I think that's a great tool that should definitely be part of your DeFi arsenal. So first things first, Yield Yak is a auto compounding tool. Auto compounding is when you take the rewards that you farm as a liquidity provider in an AMM, for example Pangolin or the latest edition Baguette, and you sell those tokens to buy back the tokens that make up the pair that you are providing liquidity for, and add those to the pool again, increasing your share of the pool and logically the rewards you earn every week. This way your API, rather than being the static number, actually increases rapidly, and the more often you auto compound, the more quickly it goes. So before I take you into how it works on Yield Yak, let me show you one of their other cool features. So I have a little bit of PFI sitting around and I want to earn some profits on it. So I can take a look here and look at the APIs that Yield Yak has listed for all the PFI farms that they support. Now one other good thing about Yield Yak is that their API calculations tend to be a bit more accurate compared to some of the apps that we actually have launched. This is because rather than static assumptions about, for example, how many blocks there are in a day, Yield Yak's calculations are based on actual and recent performance, so they tend to be more accurate. So as you can see, my highest simple API and therefore also my highest API is in the Pangolin AVAX PFI pool. But because I want an excuse to buy a little bit more SNOP, I am going to buy some SNOP and add to the SNOP PFI pool. So I'm going to go to compare and I'm going to say I want to buy, let's say 3 AVAX worth of SNOP. So I just checked the prices for 3 AVAX, how much SNOP I can get, and the best results for me are on Pangolin, so that's where I'm gonna go. One more fun fact before we head over to Pangolin though is that the compare tool is actually the first step towards a DEX aggregator, meaning that in the future you'll just be able to say I want to trade my 3 AVAX for PFI, and you can just get the cheapest price from within the Yield Yak tool. You do not actually have to go to the exchange that's listed as the cheapest. I think that's really cool. And as you can see, the estimate is the same. I'm just gonna swap it here. Nothing you're not used to. And then because PFI also just uses the Pangolin PGL tokens, I just supply liquidity on Pangolin as well. Now, rather than depositing my tokens in the Penguin Finance app, I am actually going to take them and deposit them into the Yield Yak app in a moment. So back on Yield Yak, as you can see, we now have almost 80 PGL tokens. It also comes with a little warning because in the case of Penguin, whenever you withdraw, you incur a withdrawal fee. Yield Yak just lets you know that that's not them, that's Penguin. So good to know. I am going to deposit the full amount of PGL tokens into Yield Yak. And what it does is now my PGL tokens are added to the Yield Yak farming pool. So as you can see, now my PGL tokens have been added to the Yield Yak contract, which means that anytime Yield Yak compounds, whenever someone presses this reinvest button, I will earn some more PGL, which later I can redeem for just more of the initial tokens, in my case SNOP and PFI. Now I know there's some confusion about the reinvest button. You could live your entire life happily never ever pressing that reinvest button and still benefit from the crazy compounding that Yield Yak does. Why you might want to press the reinvest button is because you can earn some rewards for doing so. Yield Yak gives you 5% of the farm tokens every time you press reinvest. Practically, what that means is that once 5% of the farm tokens is about equal in value as the gas fees for pressing the reinvest button, someone will press that button and earn a couple of rewards. Now, in this case, the next reinvest is 0.8 PFI, which is probably approximately $2. You can actually see that on top here. You can pause it, so like 80% of this, right? 250, something like that, 240. And then I get 5% of that. you know, that's not gonna cover my cost fees. But I can take a look if I can find something else that is worth reinvesting for. So I found a pool here and I'm quickly going to press reinvest. You have to be a bit quick because I was looking around and I spotted another one before and it was immediately taken as well. So one olive right now is about $2, which means the entire pool is worth almost $80. I pay 0.11 AVAX, so $3.33 approximately, which means that I actually made a small profit getting 5% of 80, which is $5, and only paying $3.3. So as you can see here, I didn't have any olive at the moment of pressing this button, and now I have 2 point a little bit olive. That is my reward for just pressing the reinvest button. Now, of course, I don't actually have, as you can see, any LP within this pool at this moment, but everyone who was in the pool just got 37 minus my reward. They got 37 olive, they got half of that sold into AVAX and together added back as liquidity and being added to the pool, and the pool tokens distributed amongst them. So just for fun, I'm also going to show you the reinvest button for the pool I just entered, so you can see how my PGL will actually go up from 79.935 to slightly higher once I confirm this MetaMask transaction. So as you can see, my PGL went up by just a little bit, but this happens multiple times per day and it adds up really quick. And of course, the more tokens Yield Yak has in total, the higher the share of the rewards per block that they're gonna get, which means that it will go faster and faster, logically. Now once again, just to bring it home, you never have to press the reinvest button. However, sometimes it's just good value to do it. So if you're interested in that, just keep an eye on it. Do be quick because there are definitely other people keeping a close eye on all of this. But you can also just lean back and let other people do the compounding and your PGL will just increase continuously. Then one more cool thing about Yield Yak is that they are going to release their own Yak token. I am quite excited about this Yak token because it's very community focused and it gives you a lot of great benefits. Not financial advice, by the way, but this is just my opinion. It allows you to do governance, but also it gives you a share in new revenue, which I think is really cool. Now, a snapshot was already taken for the airdrop to the community and the reinvest pushers, but 50% of the airdrop will be distributed to depositors, and this snapshot has not been taken. So, if you're interested in getting some free Yak tokens, you can just get some, probably, if you deposit. Now, there will only be 10,000 Yak tokens, and at launch, because the team tokens are locked up, that's actually going to be only 7,000. So like I said, the token will allow you to participate in on-chain governance. You can also earn some native revenue in AVAX, either by just directly staking or adding to the liquidity pool. And any further incentives to distribute Yak will be accomplished by using network revenue to buy it, rather than minting new ones. Final little Yak secret is that there is actually an activity page. Now, as a normal user, you may never have to use this, but if you ever want to do some analysis of what's going on within the Yak ecosystem, this is the place that will show you whenever someone presses the reinvest button, for example. So as you can see, they happen a couple times per minute for a variety of different pools. I think that's a sign of a healthy ecosystem. You can also get a bit of an idea of which addresses are really hunting for the best reinvest incentives. But that's it for now. For everyone who is new to the ecosystem, I hope this video will help you get an idea of how to get the most out of your liquidity. And for everyone who's been around, I hope you learned something new still. For example, the activity page, it will be linked in the description. Huge thanks to the Yield Yak team as well for being a part of the Avalanche ecosystem. It was really cool, for example, what they did with Gondola, spotting a possible vulnerability and alerting them to it so they could fix it. Very active, being very quick to add new projects to their tool. But like I said, that's it for now. I am CDNet, hope to see you in the next one, and goodbye.